Jeff, tell us about India.
This is kind of a tough act to follow, man.
Well, India's certainly the means to do it.
You know what's amazing is
Are there
that
cows there?
the cows.
Those are illegal, right?
Cows are not only legal; they have their own lane. The traffic there is insane, and I was told that it goes in order of the size of the car. Like the bigger cars get the right of way, and then all the way down to the people on scooters. But if you're a cow, everybody gets out of your way. They call it the cow lane, and the cows just cruise down the street. They're kind of like cats. They hang
They're
out.
not in a hurry.
They hang out in the daytime. They gallivant around town, eating whatever they find on the street. Sometimes pile of trash or whatever, and then they all seem to be going home in the same direction at the end of the day. Like they're all kind of coming back home.
It's their day job is like to eat garbage.
You know, it's crazy. When Church and I checked in, we landed at like 3 a.m. We got to the hotel at like 4 a.m. and this beautiful hotel in Bangalore, and they put the little, I forget what do they call it, Church, with the little red blessing on your forehead?
Dot.
Talaka. And they give you a little talaka, and they put the thing, and they gave us a little mango drink, and there was Christmas decorations everywhere because we got there like around the 20th, right? Something like that. No, before that.
I think before.
Yeah, but it was in the build up to Christmas. They love Christmas there, like more Christmas decorations than you see here, and everywhere, like the malls and the hotel lobbies and the airports. It was just like Santa Clauses. And Christmas trees everywhere. And I asked this woman, Nidhi, like kind of our driver, handler, like chaperone, like, do you guys love Christmas? She goes, "Yeah, we celebrate every holiday here." like the Hindu holidays are every day. They have 1,000, festivals and stuff.
Right.
Like we love all festivals. I go, do you celebrate all Christian festivals? I go, yes, all of them. And they go, because Christmas is the festival of lights and gift giving. And they all dress up as Santa Claus and give each other gifts. I go, do you celebrate all like Islamic festivals too? Yes, all of them too. I go, Jewish festivals? And she goes, no. But not because the anti-Semitism. I think they're like, no, but those aren't as fun.
They're not flashy, certainly.
Yeah,
But he should have said meh.
Meh?
Yeah, he should. I mean, come on.
What I found weird is that they treated us so well. They gave us, me and Greg Proops were doing comedy shows there. And we were surrounded by like a phalanx of security when we would do these shows. And like, I'd walk to go to the bar, and there'd just be 7 or 8 buff Indian dudes in black T-shirts just following you around everywhere. And they're under strict orders, like, don't let this guy out of your sight. Like we were like big hotshot Bollywood stars. I'm like, no, I think you'll find that nobody really knows who I am here. But it was great. The people there are fantastic.
And they called you Sahib.
I didn't know that until after the fact that I was Jeff Sahib. I found out later on that was my handle.
Was that a thing was it a Greg Proops gig?
Yeah, Greg and I once in a while will get corporate like shows. Usually they're in Houston or Ohio or like corporate gigs around America. But he said, "Hey Jeff, we got this cushy gig for this alcohol company called Black Dog in India, and they just treated us like royalty. It was fantastic. It was really like it's not funny. I don't have a hilarious joke about it, but like if you've not been." The people that are listening that have been to India or are from India, they know, I hope, like how special and really like marvelous. Like there's so many people. It's so crowded. There's so much noise and color and sights and smells and sounds and things. But nobody's angry. Like everybody just was chilled out and just relaxed. And if you follow Church on her Instagram at Cassandra Church, there's a picture that she took when we were at was it Charamara Palace? Chamahala? Something like that. Chamahala. Doop, 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 doop. And she took a picture of these 5 women just sitting down on their break. And it was it's so captivating. I don't know. I'm kind of nerded out on India, and I really, really would love to go back at any time.
I'm working with a writer that was in Eastern Europe, and you can tell from the way he talks about it that he really wants to just go there and live there forever. Now, sometimes you can feel that way and be wrong. Like you'd go out there and find out you were totally wrong and you just have an infatuation with a place. Like I felt that way about Portland for a while. But I don't know. I wonder if everybody has like a city somewhere on the planet where they would be extra activated. I
mean, India is such a giant, it's almost its own continent. And every city, from what I've herd is really different in lots of ways. There's 100,000 languages and all this different, like, just from neighborhood to neighborhood is so different. I would love to go back and explore more of it. Like, some people go to Thailand and fall in love with it and go, okay, I could live in Thailand. I don't know that I would necessarily need to go live in India, but it's certainly a place. Like, Church has a friend who's a composer who named Michael Dana, who, like, he goes there, like, for months, right? Yeah, and, like, he's in love with India. And you can see why. It's like just walking down the street, old ladies wearing these brilliantly colored saris or kurtis or whatever, and just walking down the road. And Church was dressed, like in a black Vivienne Westwood suit the first day, and not getting like hostile looks, but just kind of getting side eyes from the ladies. And then we got her some local gear. Like, you got some clothes there. You want to come up and talk about it? Church, come on up. Church!
It's been a long day.
Let's not talk about her like she's not here. Let's bring her up on stage. So these women, like, were walking down the road, and then she kind of put, like, some linen-y, like, we got some, like, local, like, kind of more local-looking clothes, and then women just started smiling at her. And then we're walking down, like, these, like, the old city in Hyderabad, which is much more Islamic, like a lot of burqas and the full-on head covering stuff. And little girls were just coming up to church and just taking photos with her like she was like Lady Gaga. It was fucking rad. It was really good.
Yeah, they don't get a lot of Westerners coming to Hyderabad. It's not really a tourist spot, so we stood out.
Yeah, I looked like Godzilla, and she looked like Yolandi from fucking The Antwoord.
I mean, you hear that a lot about Thailand, and I wasn't sure if India was like that, but then again, India is gigantic, and so it probably vary from neighborhood to neighborhood. But that I didn't know if that was also a thing that was still happening in the 80s. I would hear that if you're an American or a European, and you're like, and you go to some of these countries that everybody just wants to like pose with you and touch your clothes and all this stuff, and it's the kind of thing that as a white American you don't want to. It feels racist. Like it
also feels antiquated. I actually didn't expect that would still be a thing now that, like,
right.
I don't know, post-internet or something,
like,
and the way that you can get
a...
anything now, and most places are becoming more and more Western. I really didn't expect to really feel so foreign.
Yeah.
And that was a tech city. These were tech cities. These are sort of not even the places that you see in most of the travel photos. These are the progressive kind of areas.
It's possible that the reason we think that way, and then we think that it's wrong to think that way or whatever, is that because we have a perverted relationship with fame and with selfies and we how we conflate it with social status, so that we have this, like, oh, if you come up to somebody and say, can I take a picture with you, that you're taking something from them / giving them something, and there's an exchange happening, whereas they, as a more ancient founded culture, like, are just going, you look crazy.
They just walk up and say, can I take a selfie with you?
Yeah.
Like, and there's no shame at all. In fact, I noticed, I don't know if you noticed this, did you see all the billboards advertising phones that take better selfies, and it's just on billboards everywhere, specifically advertising phones based on having good selfies?
Really?
You didn't notice that?
No.
They were everywhere.
Jeff was telling me about the head wag thing that I found so fascinating. That there's this. I mean, I don't know
like
how else to
yes,
describe
or it could be like maybe, or like, oh, I'm thinking, or
it's like
you
saying
ask somebody a question, and like while you're saying, hey, so if we're gonna leave for the airport, and while you're saying, like, the person trying to go. That's them cogitating.
It's an acknowledgement of what you're saying being processed.
Right.
Is how I was
as opposed to just immediately babbling and saying, well, let me see, I don't know, which I would imagine during that crucial phase, that's when a lot of us say no to each other, because we don't know what to do. And hey, do you know how to blah, blah? No. You know, but then maybe if we did have a thing in our culture where it's like, well, don't do that. Don't just diarrhea some no's at each other. Don't feel the need to, like, barf up information. Actually, if you're on pause, that's it. It's like a little pinwheel thing in an operating system that someone's going like this. Well, they
Processing.
heard me.
I think it means lots of different things that we weren't there long enough to totally learn, but it's just you don't see that little chinwag thing it's.
It felt like it made sense after about a day. It was sort of strange at first, and then I kind of got just. It's like when you're like trying to pick up a new language and you start to learn things based on just like the context of what's happening.
Yeah.
You know, like it's
here's
just body
something.
language, and it's like, oh well, he's saying yeah, like by the way his eyes look, I can tell it's like yeah maybe, or like this other point is like oh yes absolutely I can do that. Like
Here's something I noticed that. Sorry, did I cut you off?
no go ahead.
This is fucked up. You know how people think that on Twitter that I wrote Teen Wolf, the MTV show.
Right.
In India, people kept coming up to me and they go like at the hotel, like we're these nice hotels, and it's two waitresses come up to me. I'm having breakfast, and they go, like, pardon me, Mr. Davis, Jeff Davis. Yeah. They go, we are such big fans of yours, and there's a lot of Who's Line fans there. It's been syndicated there for ages, so a lot of people really know Who's Line, which is why they brought us out there, I suppose. There, everyone thinks I'm the same Jeff Davis that wrote Teen Wolf, but for their money, they're giant Criminal Minds fans, and everybody thought I was the Jeff Davis that wrote Criminal Minds because that's the same Jeff Davis.
Oh, okay.
The Teen Wolf
We got to
guy.
get this guy on the show. It shouldn't be.
Yeah.
I don't want to insult him by saying it shouldn't be that hard, but I'm just assuming if he works in L.A. and his name's Jeff Davis, he must want to talk about this.
We did a show in Bangalore. Greg and I were doing it. Then we're doing like a photo op meet and greet. Like people come up and take photos and stuff like that with the backdrop and the whole paparazzi kind of flim flam. And security and stuff, and these guys that look like straight up Harmontown Harmontown nerdy looking fans. They come up, they're like, "Oh, we are big fans of yours, big fans of yours." I go, "Oh, thank you. You like the show?" They go, "We love the show. Criminal Minds, the best show in the world."
Criminal Minds.
But they just saw me perform improv, and they still think that I'm the Jeff Davis from Criminal Minds. It's
Well,
like,
I mean, that's to live in their world where you're like, I'm creating Criminal Minds and Teen Wolf, and then fuck it, let's play
sideline-
emotional
as
party.
a sideline, I tell dick jokes, but I'm not being a show writing.
But wait, what's Criminal Minds again?
I don't know. I think Paget Brewster was on it at some point.
No, is that really?
I think I don't know. I've never seen that or Teen Wolf. I don't know. I just know that I told you about my accountant calling me up and saying that did you spend $5,000 on limousines last night? No, I got billed for the other Jeff Davis's limo rides to the Emmys or something like that.
Oh man,
It's like we were.